Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new year and a new show. I'm your host, Mia Voss, the Mia Connect, and this is my very first, the Mia Connect Power Chat, formerly known as the Social Media Power Chat. So hopefully the show is going to air fine today. How's it looking so far, you guys? Does it come up on the internet yet? Woohoo! We got it. It's not my show if there's not a hot mess in the beginning of it, right, everyone? So I'm very excited. This is a new year for everybody. Formerly, as I said, it was the Social Media Power Chat, now called the Mia Connects Power Chat. Pretty much the same format, same bat crap crazy time channel, right? However, and it will usually be about social media, but we're going to be bringing you even more innovative people, game changers, influencers like the people I have today, and people you need to know about. So before I introduce my panel, I want to thank my ongoing sponsor and my business affiliate, Edge Ad Exchange. If you are looking to make the most out of your online advertising dollar and you want some targeted web traffic, go to edgeadexchange.com. This is the end of my advertising portion here. And now I'm going to go to my kick-ass panel, which it may be bouncing around, but I'm going to start with, hey, Jeff C., tell us about you and what your shiny is. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me on, Mia. I really appreciate it. I guess my shiny is I've been doing the Manly Pinterest Tip Show, and we've been having a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun with that, and so we're going to continue that on for the new year. I'm just a website, social media guy. My website is His Design Online, and again, I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yay! I've been stalking you for a little bit. Let me get some audience applause on that one. And I said, come on this show. Okay, next up, I have Jen Herman. Tell us about you and what your shiny is, and I'm going to give you some applause. Hey, girl. It's good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you, too. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody watching right now. Thank you so much for having me. A little bit about me. I am a huge Instagram advocate. I think Instagram is going to be really, really big in 2014, not that it wasn't in 2013. And so that's what I do. I'm here to help kind of explain to business owners and marketers how to use Instagram for marketing.
I think it's going to be bigger, right?
Yes, it's going to be bigger. They've introduced, direct messaging. I think they have a couple other things coming down the pipeline for 2014. It's really going to take off.
I love it. And listen, guys, I always say take advantage of my guests. So take advantage of Jen today, and we're going to be doing the same because some of us have not leveraged our Instagram like we should, or Pinterest. We're going to talk to Jeff about that as well. So next up, I have my brother from another mother, Scott Scowcroft. Tell us about you and what your shiny is.
Well, I am just so thrilled to be here, and especially with the panelists. I'm going to learn about Pinterest and Instagram today and a lot of other things. I am the Scott Treatment, and what I do is I repackage videos with an emphasis on Hangouts on Air.
And I must say, Scott and I have been working on something we're not rolling out today because I did not realize how much of bat crap crazy I had, right, Scott?
You're a bat crap crazy.
I am. So just to give you a little bit of a teaser, we are working on, it started off kind of as an overview of 2013, but more of a fun blooper reel of all the bat crap crazies since the show started. It's been pretty fun so far, right?
Yeah, I've been swimming in, well, I won't tell you what I've been swimming in.
Bat crap crazy. But I will tell you guys, please you need the Scott Treatment too. So that's another little advertisement because I've been getting it and I'm digging it. So there's that. All right, next up, I'm going to go to representing in what we call the 303, the 5280. We've got Debbie Davis coming out of Denver. Hi, sister. Can you hear us?
There we go. I couldn't get the mute off, of course. Hi there, and Happy New Year to everyone. And yeah, we are the 303, and yeah, I couldn't be prouder of living in Denver, but now even more so now that I know that Mia's here as well. My shiny is strategy, and I know a lot of people just hear that word and want to plug their ears, and it's kind of cool that I'm on this panel with all these people who are into these visual tools, because this year I'm going to make strategy visual and maybe take some of the pain out of strategy. I'm known a lot for social media, but really it's communication strategy that I'm all about. So I'm at 3ddebbie.com.
And I like that. That is, say that again. You're going to take the pain out of strategy. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, people don't like strategy, so I'm going to make it a little more fun.
You know what? And clearly you're on the right show. if you're going to talk about fun, because that's what we're going for. And last but not least, and I got to get my applause up here, we've got Kevin Green, and I'm trying to even remember, Kevin, how I think I just found you by gently stalking you on Twitter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us about you. What's your shiny? And we know you're here in Denver, too. That's part of your shiny.
That is it. Well, I'm basically an entrepreneur. We have some software that we've done for the car industry, and we're basically revolutionizing the customer experience for that. And I got involved in social media, starting with Twitter a few years back, and kind of started, having fun in social media and like to share and learn and teach.
Speaking of what's Twitter, we have a handle, by the way, @crapcrazy. So please use that. And Debbie has been a queen of Twitter on that too. And listen, you need to follow Kevin too, because he's all that in a bag of chips on Twitter, just so you know. So he's got that going on. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Oh, Jeff, that was a message from before. So everybody can hear each other. How are we looking, everybody? Let's hear what the audience has to say real quick. Charlotte Pierce says, yes, Debbie Davis, please take the pain out of my strategy. Nice. James Serino, he always shows up. I'm in like Flynn for some bat crap craziness. Scott, thank you for quoting Debbie already. Mark Seidel, glad you could make it. Susan Knight, she must be in the audience. Let's see who else we've got. Hey, Mark Seidel and Lansfields. That's my Felicia, by the way. Anybody you guys want to shout out that's in the audience that you know is here for you?
Oh, my buddy, my manly Pinterest tip buddy, Wade Harmon's out there, so just want to shout out.
Brother Wade! What's up? And Wade's got his own show, too, the Relationship Marketing, so that's right. That's a bromance.
That's right.
Bromance with you guys, right? How about anybody else? You guys have anybody you want to shout out?
I'd love to shout out to my Seattle partner in crime, Jess, who's Seattle area for the Jess and Scott, Jess plus Scott plus you show.
That's right.
Hi, Jess.
And Heather Crafter is out there watching. She and I have been collaborating on a bunch of stuff, and so I want to say good morning to her.
Good morning, Heather.
I want to say good morning to Yvonne. I think she's on. She said she might be, she's hoping she'd remember to get here on time, so I hope she's out there, and if she catches in late, just want to say hi and give her a shout out.
Oh, I love it. We got a couple others too. And Heather Crafter, my favorite hashtag for her is She's Crafty. Love that one with a K. Lainey Sullivan, good morning. Mia Voss, Fat Crap Crazy, get your learn on. Let's see what else we've got. Got a couple other. Now, here's the other problem with something. We have so many people that are out there writing. Lynn Abate Johnson, she is my sister from another mister right there. So we got all kinds of fun people. So again, you guys, we're going to be getting into trends for 2014, and of course, starting off with talking about Pinterest and Instagram. So take advantage of all these folks right here. I'm pimping them out like crazy. So with that, we talked about it in the green room of what we were going to, cover today. So Jeff, can I start with you? And I don't know if you noticed that I put in the description of my announcement today, Pinterest, it's not just for men, because I think that's hilarious. It's always been the sewing circle, but you guys have taken it and put it in the manly category. So tell us about that program and what people can be doing in 2014 with Pinterest, not just recipes and outfits.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff coming out on Pinterest. It's just another place for your content to go. I mean, we have a board we share where you actually pin Google Plus Hangouts Worth Watching, and that's just content out there where people can find easily. It links right back to your YouTube channel. It's the same way. It's the same with a blog or something like that. I mean, it's just another way for your content to be out there. And the thing with Pinterest, if you put a Facebook post or even a Google Plus post, the shelf life falls off pretty quick. But with Pinterest, it stays around a lot longer. And so
does it?
I've seen a lot of good traffic coming back from Pinterest, and it's kind of exciting for the next year. I mean, more guys are getting on it. On our last Manly Pinterest Tip show, we had Luke, and he has over almost 500,000 followers, and he's this photographer, Australian extreme sports guy, and he's killing it on Pinterest. So more men are going to come onto Pinterest, and especially if you have a product, you need to be on Pinterest right now. So.
I love this. Could you post Luke's handle? I love to say that handle when we're done too, because I think that's fun too, to find out these people and start following them and emulating what they do. You know, I remember Stefan gave me a great tip about that too. When I posted my link to my show, he also gave me the tip to make sure that I posted the link from my playlist, so that after that video played, then it went into it just stayed on my channel, right?
Right.
What's your favorite? Okay, so what's your favorite thing to post? Is it like Legos? Is it garage stuff? What is it?
Well,
I pulled that out of nowhere.
It's mostly social media stuff, but I'm starting to post a lot more, you know, because it's mainly Pinterest tips. So I'm trying to do manly food, you know, camping stuff. I mean, stuff that guys would like. But you mentioned Stefan earlier. He's got a recent article that's really good that talks about how Pinterest is going to factor into semantic search. I mean, the whole David Amerlin thing. I mean, it's really good to go back and read that article, and I'll make sure to post that in the comments today. He ties right into it. Denise Wakeman had a good article about it as well. So Pinterest is just another tool that you can use to kind of boost your content.
And speaking of David Amerlin, how much of a big boy-girl crush do we all have on David Amerlin? I'm just saying, who's got one? Right here. Raise your hand. And in addition, I would like to talk about another man crush. Wade Harmon says he would kiss you if he could find you. I love that. Here's another random one, just because I have to shout it out. David Oldenburg says, great to be here. Bob Voss just messaged me and said he's hungry. He is sleeping over here, but Bob has tended to get on the computer. So I love that. You know, it would be a great idea. I like Jeff, too, is, you know, with the kind of, you know, the football, the Super Bowl season's coming up, you can do recipes for Super Bowl or just all different types of stuff, too. So I think it's fun. What do you think is the biggest trend, though, besides just the social media for men on Pinterest, of what's being pinned?
Well, the biggest thing for men is to get past the, you know, all the, you know, if I see another how to braid hair thing, I mean, but once you start going and pinning stuff you like, it starts showing up more in your stream. It just depends on what you like. I mean, I see, you know, men are always going to post, there's a ton of motorcycle pictures, there's a ton of, you know, food pictures, and so,
that's Chef's page, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of like food porn stuff on there. There's some great stuff, but there's also, I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. I mean, I had a post this came up this week, which was like mainly Pinterest tip number 4, and we were talking about how you can go and pin funny stuff that you find online, like jokes, and then with your family have a family comedy night where you share that around. I mean, so there's other stuff you can do. Use it as a placeholder for stuff for your family, for your kids. Our kids do it, and we have a joke night, and it's just a good way to, you know, my kids are becoming teenagers right now, and so I really want to keep engagement happening, and so that's just one of the things I think you can do, creative ways to use Pinterest.
And do you have, could you tell us what your Pinterest handle is so everybody can start following you right now?
It's just Jeff C, Jeffsieh.
Talk about some good branding, people. Hello, we're not guessing. We know where it is. Here's another quick one, and then panel 2, Kevin or Scott, jump in. A social move towards collaboration. How does this work on Pinterest?
Well, just like we're doing with the, we have kind of these hangout people. We've created that group board, and so you can pin to it, Wade can pin to it, and so you can have collaboration that way. One of the things, it's not really, I wouldn't call it a social network. You can make stuff in comments. But it's mostly making boards, and some of the most popular boards are collaborative boards. I mean, social media tips, all sorts of stuff that, I mean, you know, do whatever you want and invite people to pin to that board, and you just increase your reach that way.
Yeah, I have, that's right. We have that for ours, too, you know, that I've been able to, of course, pin that. And it is nice because then it goes out to everybody, and that is a great collaborative piece. You guys have any questions for Jeff on the Pinterest?
Sure, I'll chime in, Jeff. I'm just really intrigued by everything that you're saying. The social network landscape is so busy. I haven't paid a lot of attention to Pinterest, and now it's almost like the scales are falling from my eyes. I mean, if someone wants to have reach, why wouldn't they want to be on Pinterest?
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I mean, you can post your blog articles, and you can post. The cool thing is posting YouTube videos. I mean, that's really what sold it to me. I mean, so even your stuff, Scott, that you chop up for the Scott treatment, you could create boards for that, and people could find that really easy. And the shelf life is just a lot longer, and then you can repin later. I mean, I can make a new board. Like I just did this recently. I had I wanted to do manly food, and so I just took some of the stuff that I had in a different board and repinned it. Well, that shows up on other people's stream. You got to be careful not to spam people by just dumping stuff, but you can kind of keep it in the forefront of people's mind and seeing it visually on the Pinterest stream.
So, this almost sounds like the power of branding, because originally Pinterest was branded as something that women would like and not men. And yet, yeah. So I guess the question is there an early adopter advantage that men will have on Pinterest if they jump in right now as opposed to waiting for 6 months?
Well, and now you all know why I brought Scott on, because he asks kick-ass questions like that. That is a great question, my friend. I love it.
Well, especially I think for bloggers don't use it enough. I think it's really good. I mean, for somebody to follow to learn how to do Pinterest would be Peg Fitzpatrick, because she is incredible on there, and also Rebecca Radice. But yes, Scott, I think the early adopter thing is true, especially for men. It's just 80%, and plus if you're selling stuff, it's just huge, because 80% of the market is women, but they're also spending more. I think Black Friday, the stuff from Pinterest was like, people had stuff on there was like double the sales. So people are going to Pinterest to buy stuff as well, and so that's huge if you have an e-commerce or are selling something, and so it's a pretty big deal for products.
Quick question for the panel then too, Debbie or Kevin or Jen, are you using that at all for your business?
I'm using it, and I have to tell you that because part of my, I'm big into time management, and Pinterest, once I get there, it is very addictive, and I really, I understand that the rule is that you simply have to, like you said, have the egg timer there. And honestly, the reason I don't spend more time on Pinterest is because I know I just get sucked in there and I can stay all day long. So I have to get better because there's a huge value there. I see that. I just have to figure out how to exercise some discipline so that I don't get too lost in it.
I used to say when I first started on Pinterest, you know how little kids kind of rub their ear and they suck their thumb? Like, that's how it was for me. I would just be like, look at this, and I just click away. Like 2 hours later, I've got 50 pictures of braids and 80 recipes. I always joke too. I was doing a cleanse earlier this year, and I had to learn. I had to change my whole stream of Pinterest. You cannot do a food cleanse and look at Pinterest when everything you pinned is wrapped in bacon. Come on. That was my big problem with it. A couple more questions on this, guys. David Oldenburg has, Jeff, how would you use Pinterest to promote a show like Mia's or mine? Which, honestly, that's part of what we do is that board, which is great, right, Jeff? The shared board. Yeah. And then go ahead,
I would just say also, I think and I've been doing it with the Manly Pinterest tips, taking a cue from Scott, is to divide it up into easy digestible pieces and post those on your Pinterest board, because some people they'll see an hour show and go, I ain't watching that, but they see a 3-minute clip on an answer to some question, they'll watch that, and you can break those up in a Pinterest board and do some bunch of cool stuff that way.
The easy to digest too. Jen or Kevin, do you have any comments on that or questions for the guru on the Pinterest?
How many posts or pinnings would somebody normally do in a day? Is it 1 or 2? Or I see people that when I first looked at it, and I signed up for most of these different things, and I haven't done anything with it. I was just being hit up with people doing 30, 50 of them in my stream, and then every day I've got 40, 50 people following me, and I feel obligated to follow back, and it just got out of hand. And so now for me wanting to maybe get back in tune with that, what's a good amount that's reasonable? 2 or 3 a day, 20 a day? I see people that are posted that I know in other circles that they're doing 1,000 pins a day. I mean, oof, it scared me.
Mute.
Yeah, you don't want to spam people, but I usually post in the morning, and then I usually do in repins. It's just like any other social media. You're sharing mostly other people's stuff, and then it's the 90 whatever rule, 90-10 rule, or whatever. I hardly ever I post my stuff rarely, but I repin a lot of other people's stuff, and I'll do it in the morning, and then I usually do it in the evening. And Wade and Mike Alton and all those guys, they pin quite a bit too. But if you vary it, you don't want to just. I get frustrated with people just posting braids or just posting
Hold on a second. Look at this one. Nikki, hi Nikki, welcome, because I know she's I have a lot of braids Pinterested. Little FYI. Don't feel ashamed, honey. It's all good.
Whatever you like. Yeah, it's whatever. But if you're pinning a lot, I would like, I'll pin food, I'll pin funny stuff, I'll pin, because you want to show your personality, and that's one thing Peg Fitzpatrick taught me was you need to show your personality. And don't you think that's the best? What a great social media platform to be able to showcase both yourself and your business, right? Yeah, I mean, I think it's great.
And I find that I think I pin very, very naturally and kind of organically. I have that little pin button up in the top in my bookmarks bar there, so that when I'm just going through my day reading blogs or doing stuff like that, it's so easy to just hit that pin it button. I'm not there specifically to pin stuff on Pinterest, but when I find things during the normal course of my day, I just hit the pin button, and I know I've got 15 boards and 15 categories, so it's somewhat strategic, and then I'm pinning consistently, but never, I'm never vomiting on someone.
Because that's how it can feel, right? Yeah. I've had a couple of people that I usually in the beginning I had a lot of photographers, and then I realized my entire feed was like every wedding idea or every single thing, and I found like, oh, okay, enough of that. I like this one from Laura. I use Pinterest to store research for a writing project I'm working on, and also to store stuff to read later. So if I'm stuck somewhere waiting, boom, love that. Thank you, Laura. That is awesome. And then, hey, Jeff, please spend some time on the comments when the show's done, because clearly we've hit a nerve with people, and I'm so excited to be able to bring that up, because I think like Jen was saying with Instagram, I think that Pinterest is now just going to skyrocket like crazy. So thank you for all that too. So hey Jen, let's talk about Instagram. I mentioned my Instagram has pictures of food, wine, mountains, and Bob Voss, pretty much. And Lily, my other cat. So how about you? Tell us about how we can utilize it better.
Well, and that's great. I mean, just like Jeff was kind of saying and what you guys were saying, Pinterest is about, explaining who you are as well as your business. Instagram is much the same. It's an opportunity to explain who you are as well as your business. And again, if you have a product, Instagram is an absolute must for 2014, in my opinion. If you have something that can be photographed, whether it's showing videos or photographs of how your product is used, maybe it's a troubleshooting issue, maybe it's something about different ways you can use the product, things like that. That's absolutely paramount going into a very visual marketing-based year. Mm-hmm. But even for those people that do service-based businesses like myself, you can still use it. You just have to be a bit more creative. And it's about showing, the behind the scenes. It's about showing what you do every day. I mean, do you have a really super backcrap crazy messy desk, or do you have like super sterile organized desk? That's part of your personality, and that's part of your business. And you can showcase that through Instagram. So there's a lot of different ways that you can mix it in, but you don't want to make it just business. You want to make it a little bit of you and a little bit of business. But the most important thing that I can say to people, and I say it time and time again, is it's all about photos. It's all about real images. It's not so much what we see on Facebook where it's like the memes or it's the, quote on an image kind of thing that you've taken, you've uploaded it from Google or something like that. That's not what people want to see on Instagram. They want to see your photos and your videos. So it's really important to be bringing original content. But with that as well, that content can so easily be repurposed now to Facebook, to Pinterest, to Twitter, to Google+. You can, with such a heavy emphasis on visual marketing going into 2014, this is something that it makes that so much easier to do, because you have the filters, you have all the editability in Instagram, and then you just share it to another platform, and it makes it much, much more versatile going forward.
Speaking of which, I'm fixing to Instagram you.
I know, I just saw you doing that.
I was like, how about right now? And I never even thought about that, Jen, because I usually, it really can be a little snapshot of like, this is what's going on, especially if your brand is you. Like Jeff, you could be doing one as you guys are doing the show, Kevin talking to clients, Scott while you're doing different things, right? All of us could be kind of making that. So it sounds like, and let me pull this question up because I think this could also be with regards to what I just forget, Instagram as well. To link or not to link, should pins match what you're posting on Google Plus, Facebook, or Twitter at all? So probably the same thing. Can we talk about that with Instagram as far as what you're linking together? Like for Instagram, talk about like linking that to different things, or do you just kind of keep it there?
I do both. One of the things, some people will link their Instagram account to their Facebook and their Twitter, so every Instagram photo they take shows up on those platforms.
Ooh, what do you guys think about that?
I don't like it.
Jeff, you in the same boat, brother?
I'm still learning from Jen on Instagram.
Okay.
The only thing I've been doing is, and when I was working on your trailer for your last event, is I took a picture of that, and that went good. That went great. It showed that and I've always struggled. How do I get my blog stuff out there? But what Jen said is, take a picture of what you're working on. I think that's a genius way to pre-launch whatever you're doing.
Sure.
It's a teaser. It gets people excited for something that hasn't quite happened yet. They know that it's coming. It's a way to kind of, and those are the kind of things that you do want to share across multiple platforms. Those are the things that, you want to share that on your Facebook page, on Google Plus, on Twitter. Put it out there as a teaser. It becomes almost your marketing piece for that, post. But do you need to share every picture of your cat, or every picture of a sunset, or every picture of your lunch, or every selfie, or whatever it is?
Or your cappuccino.
Platforms? Yeah, or your cappuccino. Or the airplane, the wing out of the airplane. Yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, and if it comes to coffee and airplanes, everyone counts.
Everyone.
That's right. Yeah, hey, I'm going somewhere, right, Kevin? No,
those
Jen,
are things that you definitely don't want to, over spam your other platforms. So that's why I think there's definitely the purpose for cross-sharing and linking back to other sites. And not to mention, if you have 10,000 followers on Google Plus and you have 200 on Instagram, you want your Google Plus fans to know that you're on Instagram. So you want to share Instagram photos and say, hey, here's one photo of my vacation, come see the rest over on Instagram. So you use it again as like a teaser or some sort of a marketing thing. Hey, here's a quick snapshot of a new product launch. The whole product is available on Instagram. So you give people reasons to come over. So you definitely want to do that cross-sharing, but be very selective with what you share on other platforms, because you want to give people a reason to come to Instagram. And if you shared every image from Instagram on every other platform, why would they come to Instagram?
Right, they see it over there, and also kind of turn them off because if that's not that's not why they're over on Facebook. It's to kind of see only photographs, right? So, and can I just go back to Jeff real quick? Because dude, you made that video and it was awesome. So for those of you who saw, Christine and I did the 4-hour HOA-a-thon. I can't believe I actually have any words, to be honest with you today. But I think it's mainly because everybody else was so kick-ass and had great things to say. All I had to do was run the show. But Jeff made this really cool HOA teaser video. So is that something that we could have put on Instagram, for instance, Jen?
You could definitely use a portion of it. Instagram video is only up to 15 seconds. So if the trailer, right? If your trailer was a 45-second, but you could actually crop it. You can upload external videos to Instagram, and then you can crop them. Of course, there is the issue where Instagram is a square box, and most videos are shot in a landscape. So you will lose a little bit of your video to the margins, so to speak, but you can easily do that and pick the best 15 seconds of a promo, a commercial, whatever it is, upload it to Instagram, and again, now that's a teaser to go to a different platform from Instagram.
Gotcha. Any questions from the panel or comments on that? Because I know I'm picking up a ton of stuff.
Yeah, I just want to say that when I knew that Jen was going to be on the show today, I went and took a look at everything, and I'm not an Instagrammer. I've got an Instagram account, and I had like 4 photos on it up until the other night. And then I got onto Jen's website, which covers a lot of the stuff that you just talked about just now. And so I got in there and I started playing around with the filters, and I saw how you crop the video, and you give some good instruction and examples and things like that on your website. So your website's very rich. I now have maybe I have 10 or 15 photos up there because I wanted to play with it. Now, Yeah, but I learned a lot, and it whetted my appetite. So I'll definitely be using that more, particularly going forward, because we know that everything is becoming much more visual in everything we do. So yeah, it's a great tool. I just didn't understand how to use it, and I learned pretty quickly just looking at your stuff. So
that's great. Thank you. And that's one of the things about Instagram is it's kind of, I mean, just like when Twitter first came out, or just like when Pinterest first came out, when it's first new, people are like, ew, I don't know how to do this. And they kind of run for the hills if they can't figure it out within 35 seconds of opening the app. And the thing with Instagram is it's really easy to use, but you just need to learn a couple things about the lingo, a couple things about how to, the upload process and everything. But it's really easy, and once you have that down, it's addicting. Like, you want to take photos all the time. I mean, I'll be walking my dog, and I'm like, ooh, a pretty flower. Let's stop and take pictures because I want to Instagram them. It's just because you can. It's just really, really fun in that sense.
I liked someone posted an Instagram picture the other day, and it was out of Arizona. So you know how big sky, beautiful it is down there. And I said, God, what a great picture. He's like, this actually looks cooler than it really was.
Well, and that's the best thing. I mean, I share a lot of sunsets. If you follow me, I'm at Jen Herman 31. That's JENN Herman 31. I do a lot of sunsets. I am a sucker for a gorgeous sky. And that was kind of when I first got into the Instagram thing. I was like, well, let's just play with it and see what happens. And it was, try some sunset pictures. But you can make them look really awesome. I mean, it could be like a good sunset, but on Instagram, it's amazeballs. Like, you can just make it look really good.
Colorado, I will say, is really good for that, and I'm going to just make this quick comment. Charlotte Pierce, thanks for saying that. Michael Bennett are all the sunrise photos he wants. I don't know if you guys know Michael Bennett out of Chicago. He just takes this amazing series of sunrise and sunset on Lake Michigan, and it just looks great. What I love about him, the interesting brand, though, is that he's Michelin medals, which he was on my show a while back, and we hashtag sexy medals. That was a thing we made up for him to start bringing over to his blog. But yeah, so things like that. I mean, everybody's got their. I mean, talk about branding, you guys. Don't you agree? You can use Pinterest and Instagram to really create something that you're known for. Mine could be behind the scenes pictures. Jeff is getting ready to for the show, the trailers, and so forth.
And one of the other things, Mia, about branding that I love about Instagram is with the filters. Like, if let's say you own a vintage furniture shop, you can use additional filters on your images that give everything an even more vintage look, that have that kind of, sepia look to them, or that old school photo. So you can enhance your brand with those filters. Or if you're a super modern, super clean line type brand, you can use, either a lo-fi or a couple other filters that will give things a really intense color vibration, and so that just enhances your branding, which then those photos you can now put on your website. You can put those on your other social media pages to really further develop that whole brand image.
I also particularly like that it's forgiving for wrinkles or pictures taken late night.
I love Valencia. I'm putting it out there. Valencia makes all of this look a lot better.
Well, we are all playing, you guys, with the enhance that Scott was so kind to remind us about, and we were doing. I said to the guys that looked, Debbie and I were like, "Do you like this better, smooth?"
Yeah.
And then Jeff was playing it and with the whole thing. So no, I love that. And then just to get into real FYI, Andy Parker, hi Andy, says, I still can't get used to the square cropping, but I deal with it. Any tips on that? Because I think it is easier when is it easier when you take the photo first and then you open it in Instagram, or when you take it through Instagram?
I do both, and it depends on the situation. If you're very specific, like, because Instagram is going to be a square photo, if you know you're only going to take one photo, do it through the Instagram app, because then it's already cropped, everything's ready to go. You're not having to share it to Instagram, and you cut out a couple steps. So if you're going to take one quick photo, do it through the Instagram app, and then it's already square and everything's ready to go. However, I'm one of those people who has to take 42 photos and at like 19 different angles to get one good, flower shot of my dog who's like running in 19 different directions. I can't get one still photo of her. So I do those in my regular camera, but just you have to be very aware. Like, I have the Galaxy S4, which is a very long screen. So if I'm going to take something that I know I want, like if I know it's going to be a square, you have to think, okay, if my camera's, this wide, assume the margins are gone, or assume half of the screen, you're only using the left half of the screen or something. It takes a little adjusting and getting used to using your normal camera. But another trick that a lot of people do, it's kind of, it's not the whole Instagram native image effect, but if you take a photo and let's say it's a landscape photo and it's gorgeous and you don't want to crop anything out, you can always upload that to your computer, and whether it's through, you can go stupid old school and just do it into PowerPoint, or you can do it into Photoshop or something like that, and you can post that landscape image onto a square white background, and then now you take that photo, email it back to yourself or get it to your phone, and then upload it from there. It does add a couple extra steps, but you will see those images on Instagram frequently where people have taken what was either a landscape or a portrait tall image and just put on a square white background so that they can have the entire image on Instagram.
I love it, and not to get people overwhelmed by that, but the great point of that, Jen, and thank you for telling us that, is that, again, if you are using this for business, and we are all about, we're all for profit and using our time, time is money, that you would want to use that for a really great photo that, again, like you said, you could be the antique arts dealer or something, right? Scotty?
And Jen said something that might have just passed by people that I'd like to point to, and it's maybe the best tip of the entire program, and that's to use PowerPoint, because you don't have to have a great graphics background in order to manipulate these images.
Amen.
If you go into PowerPoint, man, you've got so much power there. So thanks for bringing that up, Jen.
Yeah, my pleasure. I've had to work plenty of jobs where I didn't have the luxury of Photoshop, and I am a master at PowerPoint. I can make anything look good.
I love it. And real quick, Nick Sharp, I love you, brother. He's reminding everybody that she is at Jen Herman 31 on Instagram. And one other quick question: would you also say, what do you guys? I don't know if you just said a PicMonkey for using that too.
Yep, there's a lot of, PicMonkey, Pixlr, those are free apps that you can use either on your desktop or otherwise that help, again, to manipulate images, and they can even help with your cropping and things like that.
I gotcha. Wow. Did everybody get their learn on? I mean, we just boom. That was good. Hey, Kevin, any questions on it too? And then I want to talk about you. Let's talk about you. Do you have any questions on Instagram, or have you used it at all?
I've got tons of questions about Instagram, but Jen, are there any tools out there, like Buffer or anything that helps somebody rather than going?
I wish I could say yes. It's it's a sort of a yes answer. Instagram has been very, very protective of their platform. They do not have any ability to manage multiple accounts. So if you had a personal account and you have a business account, you actually have to physically log out of one and log into the other on your device. The best thing that I've found so far is Hootsuite, and it will allow you to manage multiple accounts at any given time. You can like, comment, scroll through feeds, but you cannot upload photos through Hootsuite. You can't schedule posts, you can't do anything like that. But if you do have multiple accounts, Hootsuite does allow you to manage it as an app, not as an actual network, but as an app. And that's kind of the closest and best I've seen.
Another tip that I kind of saw is, sometimes if you're posting something to Instagram, is you have that thing you want to share it to Facebook or Twitter right away. But if you actually wait a little bit till maybe you have 100 likes or 30 likes or whatever, then go share it on Facebook. I've noticed that when it actually hits Facebook, it'll show sometimes people that are your friends on Facebook that may have already liked it. And so then other people want to like it faster because they've already seen that, oh, wow, 13 other people or 20 people have already liked this picture.
Excellent.
So, wait a minute.
The lemming effect, huh? Jump over, get that, right?
It worked. The biggest thing for Instagram for me was when I first got started with it, I was having a blast. I was getting to the popular page usually every morning at around 8 o'clock. And, things changed with the algorithm. Well, first of all, I started getting a following mostly when they opened up the API where they were showing your Twitter followers. So I was getting, 100, 300, 500 a day sometimes new followers. I follow everybody back. That's just kind of how I was. And then all of a sudden they shut that off, and they still had me grandfathered. I could still follow people, and now that's gone. And so now I'm stuck with 50,000 people following me. I'm following like 28,000. The only way I can follow somebody now is I got to get rid of everybody. And you can only do 50 an hour manually. It's almost, you think that it's worth starting a new one.
And that's something that, like you said, it's up to you. I mean, if you find that the followers you have are valuable to what you're trying to use Instagram for, you might not want to get rid of them. But then again, maybe you do want to start another account, and you would then reach out to, let's say, your Twitter followers or whatever it is, and say, hey, started a new account. If you want to follow me here, and kind of start fresh. And the people that actually want to see what you're posting will kind of join you again. It's a good way to kind of weed out those who aren't really active. And
or
unfortunately,
use the other account maybe to follow people that you do like with that one and interact. They'll know it's the same person, but leave your other feed that is getting likes and stuff alone also.
So, Kevin, these are first world problems because he says he has 50,000 people following him, and I can only follow 28,000. Like, people in your audience like,
yeah. Well, it's funny because my daughter is my youngest one. She's a little social media genius.
Is she?
And she was like a Instagram fanatic like me when it first came out, and then she kind of is like, Dad, I'm at 7,500 people I'm following. I can't follow any more people. This is boring now. And she was just having a blast and growing it, and so she still uses it and stuff. But it's the same way with like Google Plus. When I first started with it, when I saw the 5,000 limit, and I was already there on after it opened after a couple of days, and people following me, it's like, well, what's the point with this? With the limitations. So basically left Google Plus, but so some people that affects.
Sharp gasp of air. We're going to get you back over, and I'm going to force feed you a giant 7-Eleven size big gulp of Google Plus Kool-Aid, brother. How's that? But you know what? Speaking of, we're always open for it. You figure out, what works for you. And I in the green room, I affectionately called you a Twitter hooker, and knowing anybody who knows me knows that's actually a good thing to be called anything with that at the end of it. But that's your playground, right? On Twitter?
Yeah. Well, actually, probably not as much as it used to be, but.
Is it more? So where are you doing most of your business?
Real business, or
just in general, or for social media?
In social media, I would say probably Twitter. It's moving over to Google Plus. I'm finding I've been doing a lot more watching, but it has just been amazing. With the Hangouts that they have. All the different things. I can go +1 somebody 20 times or 10 times if I go to their page and I like some stuff. And I'm not going to get a thing from Facebook that says, you're suspended from liking somebody for the next 3 months. Those kind of things.
You don't feel like a weirdo, huh?
Yeah. So, it was hard going to Google Plus at first because I didn't really understand it and the power of the circles. With Twitter, I was at first when they had the list, I became a master of Twitter lists, and again, Twitter's made it so hard to use them that for me, that I kind of had to stop that. But I see so much potential with Google Plus, so I would say that's probably my new thing. Twitter, I used to be addicted to Twitter, and I used to be doing more personal tweets beyond it.
Did you have an intervention? Did somebody do an intervention on you?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I was so into that. Now, basically, Twitter for me right now is more pre-programmed broadcasting, and I'm not doing a lot of personal interaction on that. Time for one thing, and other people started coming to my Twitter feed to find a good quote or find something of somebody else's content that they could go share. They didn't want to go. When I go look at people's Twitter profiles, and I got to go through 30 messages of conversation, or I gave you clout, plus K. I did this for this. I bought shares on you on Empire. You know, all that stuff. I'm gone. I'm not looking at them anymore. So I like it when people can come to mine and basically they can scroll through anything, and there's content there if they want to share it, which they do, and they're not having to find that personal conversations and stuff like that. So
here's a quick comment. Lynn Abate Johnson, you just got outed. Kevin has over 500,000 followers on Twitter. That's significant. Wow, get your learn on. Now following them is where you will love Lynn, by the way. She is one of my favorite sisters. So, but I love that again, actually on our show on Wednesday, the 4-hour HOA, Jason Weiser actually brought up in comments afterwards as well, the combination of Twitter and Hangouts on Air, which I'm going to segue over to Debbie, because she has really, Debbie and Lynn actually are my advocates on Twitter for that. But the combination of a lot of these platforms is fantastic, using Hangouts and then tweeting over to it. I mean, you can really leverage a lot of these. And I'm happy to see that you are loving Google Plus, Brother Kevin. We're going to have a little hangout privately and then do an in real life. Since we're all in Denver, right?
It's kind of amazing how many people that have actually known have come to Denver, and it's always like after they're gone, it's like, man, I forgot that you were there. We should have got together and this and that. But yeah, sometimes you get stuck behind the computer and you stop doing real life things, right? You know.
Right, and what do you guys think about this? Just to segue to branding real quick, that was something actually that Michael Cutata talked to me about and reminded me, and you'll see me post. Like I posted about the fact that you can now buy pot recreationally here in Colorado, so not my cup of tea at all, but I think it'll chill some people out here. You know, I posted about that. I post things about Colorado, so I do try and assign myself to the fact that I'm in one kick-ass state. Right. Let's face it. Yeah. I love it. You guys love it too. But you know, I think for all of us, you know, for even using Instagram or Pinterest, you can really use that of where you're at. Do you guys use that at all? Kind of leverage that as part of your branding of where you are? Anyone, Scott? You're in a cool state. Oh, go ahead.
I was doing too much traveling for too many years, so I didn't. Really wasn't in Colorado other than every other week. So
you were doing or Pinterest or Instagrams of the plane wing. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. I mean, I didn't do too many of those, but
you were that guy.
I did a lot from Singapore or Puerto Rico, Miami, you know, things like that. So, you know, it's somebody asked me on Flickr, I think the other day. It's like, did you really take those 40,000 pictures? And I said, well, that's part of them. But, you know, that's a hard part for me sometimes is, you know, you took 600 pictures this day. How do you whittle it down, you know, to the couple to share it? And I have a hard time with that sometimes. So it's like, here's 15 of them. Yeah.
That sounds like Jen Herman's got that first world problem too. I like it because Jen, you're like me. I love that. But what I'm loving, by the way, when I do take a ton of pictures on my Galaxy, if I take too many, all of a sudden Google Plus turns into an auto awesome. Boom.
Yeah. Yes.
So I kind of love having that as a little bit of an alternative. I'm going to jump over to Debbie real quick. We're going to talk about Twitter, and Kevin, you can pipe in on that, and then we got to get to our Backcrap Crazies party, people. So start thinking about what your BCC is, because you know I'm going to come after you for it. So Debbie, I love how you interact with all of us on Twitter. And I know Google Plus is one of your favorite places to be. Is that where you like to land as well, both Twitter and Google Plus?
Yeah, I'm on Google Plus most of the time these days because of the engagement. And you know, if you go over to my Twitter account, I'm Deb Drive on Twitter. I've been there since 2009, and I've got like 700 followers. I've never really gathered, and numbers are not big for me.
You're not a size queen?
I'm not a size queen. It's not important to my strategy. Most of my people are people who want to be on social media and aren't there yet, so it's not like, you know, I'd be marketing to an empty room. I'd be, you know, talking to an empty room. I don't have a lot of followers, but what I do like to do, whether I'm at a trade show, I belong to the social marketing group here in Denver. We get together once a month, and during that monthly meeting, I'm tweeting and I'm giving people in the room props for whatever it is they happen to be presenting that day. It's a great way to let people know I'm listening to them, but usually I'm listening to them on an HOA or in a real life meeting, I'm attending a conference or something, and so I'm sending information out that way, mostly letting them know, hey, I'm listening and I think your stuff is good, and so I'm sharing links to their website or whatever it is. And it's a great way for me. I mean, it just feels good as far as engaging with people. I haven't gotten the traction from Twitter, but I do find it a great way then for me to go back and I look at my own tweet stream. I've got notes from all the meetings that I attend. My notes, things that I thought.
That's right.
I use it. Yeah, I use it most. I document everything. I've got, I've always got like my little notebook here with my pen, and I'm always, documenting things on the keyboard.
Sure.
And so when I'm tweeting, I'm actually taking notes for a meeting in my mind, and then I can go back and I can remember, what this person said, and now that I'm fluent in Twitter, and that I can quickly go to, your G+ profile, and I can go to your about page and find out what your Twitter handle is, and if your Twitter handle isn't on your about page on Google, I am bummed. It's like, what? They can't. They've got to be on Twitter, but why aren't they posting? Because that's how I want to communicate with them, is through Twitter. So,
right.
So
this is what I love about Google.
Yeah, and so I'll, before an HOA, I'll go and I'll say, okay, who's going to be the guests on there, and then I quickly grab all of their Twitter handles and I stick them, so that I can be tweeting madly during that, because that gives me really rich notes after the event, and then I can go back and really gently stalk them. So,
by the way, you do that to me all the time. After our shows, you tweet these great thoughts. I'm like, ooh, I said that? It's been awesome. And you really take a lot of these fun little, what I love to call bon mots out of it, of these, great phrases of the show. So it's working.
Yeah, well, so I do it, Twitter is really a very selfishly motivated, thing for me, so that I can have notes so I can remember what I've done, basically, and
yes.
Yeah, and I think that I think as HOAs can get more and more popular, I think that it would be important to have somebody. I think it was Jason just this morning tweeted me something, and he, Jason T. Weiser, and I think he called. Oh, I can't remember now. Like the it wasn't a communication specialist, but something like that, where somebody is tweeting your event during the event and after the event as a way to give it a louder voice and a farther reach. So I think that there's a lot of, I think you can put those together. There's a lot of synergy that can take place there.
I think so too. I was really hoping that would be Bob Voss, but apparently that opposable thumb thing is crushing him, and he can't seem to get it together. So I guess I'm going to have to hire somebody to do that. But it has been great again, and I want to pull this up real quick from Heather. Debbie Davies is such a great person. She's helpful and kind. I almost wish her on Twitter just so I could tweet about her right now. So we're going to have to get her on there. So, and then real quick, we did have Lynn gave me the high Twitter warning, so we were getting a bunch of people. I know Randy was tweeting, some other people. So again, @crapcrazy is always my hashtag. Sometimes it does run up against people tweeting about crap they hate about the government, but in general, it's used for this show. So with that, I'm going to segue into that crap crazy. I'm going to start with Jeff C., since you were the first one to agree to come on this very show, and I just love you. So let's hear what you're back crap crazy about, my brother.
Well, I'm back crap crazy about a couple things. One, I'm going to be on Wade Harmon's show tonight with Rebecca Radice. I'm I've never met her screen to screen, so I'm really excited to be on that one. And also, the Manly Pinterest Tips. We're going to have some more shows this year. But the one I want to announce today, and Mike Alton alluded to it on the Hangouts on air, is he and I are going to be doing our own HOA show coming up at the end of this month. So
that gets this. Hold on.
There we go.
That really does. That is exciting.
And it's going to be a fun little different format. So we're talking back and forth. We're really excited about that. So we'll put some information out there later.
Thank you, my brother. Tell us how we can reach you and what's your call to action.
Call to action is to follow me on Google Plus to find out all the information. That's where I'll be put. That's where I spend my time. Twitter and Triber. So that's kind of my places where
Amen. And just go follow him so you can see those cool trailers that he does. We are so jealous. And again, thank you so much for doing our 4-hour HOA one too, because that made us look shiny. I was showing it to some of my friends' kids, and they're like, and I got the cool factor from it.
Very good.
I was feeling pretty good about that. By the way, Thomas Nellison says, "Hi, Denver girls." He's here in Denver. I guess that might be you too, Kevin. I'm not sure, but we'll put you in there too. So, hey, Jen Herman, honey, thank you so much for coming on. You just added so much great value. Tell us your Bat Crap Crazy and where we can find you and what your call to action is, girlfriend.
My Bat Crap Crazy is something I just found out about. I can't believe I didn't find out about this before, but it's called Recite, and it's recitethis.com. And it has a ton of templates, and you can take any text and put it on, so basically making it like a meme type thing, but you can use it for social media posts if you wanted to put a statistic or quotes or things like that. You can use it in your blogs, like insert it into your blogs on your website. And they're so awesome. They have all these crazy fonts and amazing pictures and templates. It's awesome. I just found out about it, and I'm all over it. So recitethis.com. And
things are going to blow up over that one. Thank you.
My pleasure. And so you can come find me. I'm at jenstrends.com. I'm on Instagram at jenherman31, and that's always Jen with 2 N's. It's a long story. It's been that way for a long time. And I have a huge announcement. I was supposed to come out before Christmas, but the holidays slowed me down. But I will have an ebook coming out on Kindle this week. Hopefully next week. I'm trying to finish it this weekend. And it's going to be the ultimate beginner's guide to Instagram.
That gets this too. That's awesome.
And it is going to go into everything you need to know about Instagram, including the new direct messaging. That was one of the reasons I kind of held up once that got released. I wanted to get that into the book. Like I said, I'm hoping maybe this weekend, if not by next week, try to have that up on Amazon Kindle. So Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Instagram.
Yay, and people are going to snap that up. So please,
I hope so.
And then share that with me so I can share that on my page too. But thank you so much, sweetheart. You were the second person to agree. We met on Dustin's show, and then I started gently stalking you, and here we are today. So thank you all for all your info. Thank you. Scotty Scowcroft, brother. Thank you so much for being, and just so you guys know, Scott and I just have had so many great, just private hangouts. He's seen me in a hot mess. How many times have you seen me with a bed head? And he still loves me and walks me through a lot of different stuff. So what's your Bat Crap Crazy, dear, and what's our call to action for you?
Okay, well, originally I was going to have my Bat Crap Crazy be the synchronous event page that Google has restored. I just love it, and for people who've been following that controversy, they know what I mean. But I have to make it your marathon. I was just Bat Crap Crazy over the marathon, and I wanted, and we didn't talk about it enough during this program. I think it was groundbreaking. I think that we're like in the beginnings of radio or television, and people will look back and think of that as a milestone in terms of the development of Google+. It's amazing what happens when you get smart people who are hangout literate, who like each other, who get together, and you and Christine just facilitated, and Jason T. Weiser did a phenomenal job as well, that 4 hours. So that's what I'm Bat Crap Crazy about.
I'm just glad I had a cute outfit on that day. Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you, brother. And what's your call to action?
People can follow me on Google+, and my call to action is look for my website that will be coming out sometime in January, and it'll be called thescotttreatment.com.
Great branding, by the way. Very pleased, because I've been following you since you started doing this. So thank you, my brother. And then I'm going to head over to Kevin, my other Denverite. What's your Bat Crap Crazy, and how can we find you, or do you want to hide?
No hiding. It is get your learn on. That's what I'm Bat Crap Crazy for.
Awesome, and we get our learn on from you guys today, all of you.
Call to action, you can find me on Twitter. I actually, this account, Fixed Ops Genius, is actually my smaller one. The other one is myso.com. And they're both very, very similar, but you can find me there. A few people know me from Empire Avenue. You can also find me there. So.
Thank you, and I need to invest in you again, my friend. So I think that's actually how we first started. So I'm gonna put some money on you. And last but not least, my other sister, Debbie, also in Denver. Darling, what are you Bat Crap Crazy about?
I am bat crap crazy about people with a plan, and I think that that's why I'm so enamored with Google+. People here seem to know what they're looking for, know what they want. You know, a lot of them still they're still looking for this strategic way, you know, to get there, but they have a plan, and people with a plan excite me, and it makes me want to, you know, it makes me want to follow them. It makes me want to be part of their plan and, you know, get to be involved in the celebrating of it. So people with a plan really excite me. My call to action is I'm going to be doing 2 HOAs a month on Google with my social marketing group with Denver. It's an in real life network, and during those HOAs, we're going to be talking about our plans, talking about our strategies, figuring out how to make social media work for us the way we want to work for it, and how to use it, you know, without abusing it. And so there's going to be a lot of strategy talk, but it's going to be fun, and that's part of my strategy for making strategy fun. So my 2 HOAs a month on Google+, and follow me on Twitter. I'm at Deb Drive, D-E-B Drive.
And I need to come out to the in real life so we can do some selfies.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be a lot of fun. I'd love that.
And I have a feeling you and I are about 2 degrees separated already. Actually, all 3 of us here in Denver, for sure. So thank you guys so much for that. And that is it. Thank you for my panel for being on my very first the Mia Connect Power Chat. A little tiny bit of rebranding, but again, same bat time, same bat crap crazy channel. And that's it for this week. My bat crap crazy is Christine DeGraff, because she did rock the Casbah with that show. And you guys, this is what I love about finding collaborative partners, that you each have a strength to bring it to the table. Oh, when it works, it is the sweet spot. So I'm loving that. And that's it for this week. So join us every Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, except we do weekend shows, and that's when I can get Dustin Stout and Eileen Smith to join us too. And we'll keep you posted on that. But every Friday, get your back crap crazy on. And again, thank you to my sponsor, Ad Exchange, and to my guests. And that's it, you guys. Mwah. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new year and a new show. I'm your host, Mia Voss, the Mia Connect, and this is my very first the Mia Connect Power Chat, formerly known as the Social Media Power Chat. So hopefully the show is going to air fine today. How's it looking so far, you guys? Does it come up on the internet yet? Woohoo! We got it. It's not my show if there's not a hot mess in the beginning of it, right, everyone? So I'm very excited. This is a new year for everybody. Formerly, as I said, it was the Social Media Power Chat, now called the Mia Connect Power Chat. Pretty much the same format, same bat crap crazy time channel, right? However, and it will usually be about social media, but we're going to be bringing you even more innovative people, game changers, influencers like the people I have today, and people you need to know about. So before I introduce my panel, I want to thank my ongoing sponsor and my business affiliate, Edge Ad Exchange. If you are looking to make the most out of your online advertising dollar and you want some targeted web traffic, go to edgeadexchange.com. This is the end of my advertising portion here. And now I'm going to go to my kick-ass panel.
Messaging, I think we have a couple other things coming down the pipeline for 2014. It's really going to take off.
I love it. And listen, guys, you know I always say take advantage of my guests. So take advantage of Jen today, and we're going to be doing the same because some of us have not leveraged our Instagram like we should, or Pinterest. We're going to talk to Jeff about that as well. So next up, I have my brother from another mother, Scott Scowcroft. Tell us about you and what your shiny is.
Well, I am just so thrilled to be here, and especially with the panelists. I'm going to learn about Pinterest and Instagram today and a lot of other things. I am the Scott Treatment, and what I do is I repackage videos with an emphasis on Hangouts on Air.
And I must say, Scott and I have been working on something we're not rolling out today because I did not realize how much of bat crap crazy I had, right, Scott?
You're a bat crap crazy.
I am. So just to give you a little bit of a teaser, we are working on, it started off kind of as an overview of 2013, but more of a fun blooper reel of all the bat crap crazies since the show started. It's been pretty fun so far, right?
Yeah, I've been swimming in, well, I won't tell you what I've been swimming in.
Bat crap crazy. But I will tell you guys, please, which it may be bouncing around, but I'm going to start with, hey, Jeff C., tell us about you and what your shiny is. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me on, Mia. I really appreciate it. I guess my shiny is I've been doing the manly Pinterest tip show, and we've been having a lot of fun with that, and so we're going to continue that on for the new year. I'm just a website, social media guy. My website is His Design Online, and again, I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yay, I've been stalking you for a little bit. Let me get some audience applause on that one. And I said, come on this show. Okay, next up, I have Jen Herman. Tell us about you and what your shiny is, and I'm going to give you some applause. Hey, girl. It's good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you, too. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody watching right now. Thank you so much for having me. A little bit about me. I am a huge Instagram advocate. I think Instagram is going to be really, really big in 2014, not that it wasn't in 2013. And so that's what I do. I'm here to help kind of explain to business owners and marketers how to use Instagram for marketing.
I think it's going to be bigger, right?
Yes, it's going to be bigger. They've introduced, direct.
Clearly, you're on the right show if you're going to talk about fun, because that's what we're going for. And last but not least, and I got to get my applause up here, we've got Kevin Green, and I'm trying to even remember, Kevin, how I think I just found you by gently stalking you on Twitter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us about you. What's your shiny? And we know you're here in Denver, too. That's part of your shiny.
That is it. Well, I'm basically an entrepreneur. We have some software that we've done for the car industry, and we're basically revolutionizing the customer experience for that. And I got involved in social media, starting with Twitter a few years back, and kind of started, having fun in social media and like to share and learn and teach.
Speaking of what's Twitter, we have a handle, by the way, @BackCrapCrazy. So please use that. And Debbie has been a queen of Twitter on that too. And listen, you need to follow Kevin too, because he's all that in a bag of chips on Twitter, just so you know. So he's got that going on. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Oh, Jeff, that was a message from before. So everybody can hear you. You need the Scott treatment too. So that's another little advertisement, because I've been getting it and I'm digging it. So there's that. All right, next up, I'm going to go to representing in what we call the 303, the 5280. We've got Debbie Davis coming out of Denver. Hi, sister. Can you hear us?
There we go. I couldn't get the mute off, of course. Hi there, and Happy New Year to everyone. And yeah, we are the 303, and yeah, I couldn't be prouder of living in Denver, but now even more so now that I know that Mia's here as well. My shiny is strategy, and I know a lot of people just hear that word and want to plug their ears, and it's kind of cool that I'm on this panel with all these people who are into these visual tools, because this year I'm going to make strategy visual and maybe take some of the pain out of strategy. I'm known a lot for social media, but really it's communication strategy that I'm all about. So I'm at 3ddebbie.com.
And I like that. That is, say that again. You're going to take the pain out of strategy. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, people don't like strategy. So I'm going to make it a little more fun.
You know what? And